First of all, I would like to join our chairperson today in congratulating the people of this great country. They have reaffirmed their faith in democracy, in democratic institutions. And the verdict given by the people of Delhi is very, very reassuring. In fact, for the last several months, ever since the Modi government had come into power, many of our social activists were getting very much disappointed because he was trying to run roughshod over many things. The corporate model of development was really sending shivers down our bones, and what's going to happen, how will people resist it? The big power game, Japan on the one side, US on the other side, and all the hype on the media. And it was not even a BJP government, it was not even a collective cabinet, it was just Modi, Modi, Modi. One individual built into a cult figure. It was much more than the American presidential election. Everybody else had been reduced to just rubber stamping whatever Modi had to say. Now, having said that, if we have to fight the forces of fascism, ugly forces, the dark forces, and there are plenty of them all around, in our country and also outside our country. Everywhere in the world you will find that in the absence of real democratic forces, real people's forces, the forces of fascism, they are asserting themselves. Forces of violence. Sometimes they come under the garb of religion, sometimes other interests, but all the time they are denying the people their voice. This is the trick of fascism. They take away your attention from the real issues, burning issues, issues of life and death. Voice some false issue, some religious issue, some temple, some mosque, some ritual here, there, and people, their sentiments are played up, and people forget what they should be doing. They kill each other, and in the name of stopping the violence, the state, the people who are in power, they acquire more and more military power. So in this process, real democracy is completely lost. People lose faith in their own power, and the dictatorship-like tendencies, they thrive. Now what do we do to carry forward our own faith in democracy, our own faith in the small people, the little man who goes out from his little hut and casts or presses that little button and brings about this tremendous change. Justice Krishna Iyer ji, the late Krishna Iyer ji, he used to give this example. How does democracy work? The small man from a small hut, he takes a small steps, goes to a booth, and behind the booth he just puts a small stamp and walks away quietly, and a big revolution takes place. So the faith in the small man, all those poor people, voiceless people, we need to count them as equal human beings. We need to say that they also have a claim to equal human dignity. It's not just a piece of paper, ballot paper, or the button. It signifies their whole being. And that is what Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar had promised or expected when he dedicated Indian Constitution. At that time also he had a dream. He said, if people having got this political democracy, like equal right to vote, adult franchise, they will have great opportunity to translate this political democracy into economic democracy, into social democracy. Social, economic and political. Equality, social, economic and political. That's the preamble of our constitution. We, the people of India, give to ourselves. But Ambedkar had also warned in 1949, November 25th, when this whole constitution was being dedicated. It was finally introduced on 26th of January 1950. But 2 months before that, Ambedkar warned that if this political democracy is not able to translate itself into economic and social democracy, then this constitution will be worth nothing. You can tear to pieces, you can throw it into the dustbin, or you can put it up in flames. This constitution will not do anything. You need to assert your right to vote and bring about social and political, economic equality. Each individual human being is born equal. But how do we become unequal? That's a big question. Not every time we will have the right to vote. We need to go about little deeper into our whole philosophy, our relationship with our Creator. Many of us belong to this or that religion, and we, as a matter of ritual, we go to our temples, mosque, church, this and that, where we say we go to pray or worship or relate to our Creator. But then I ask myself many a times, do we really relate to our Creator? Relating to the Creator should simply mean relating to the creation. For that you don't have to go to a temple, mosque or a church, don't have even to belong to a religion. As a matter of fact, I find that in the name of relating to your Creator, God, Allah, Ishwar, Paramatma, whatever, we fall into a trap. And that trap is something which is being manipulated by a class of people, by an army of people who call themselves religious. Institutionalized religions, organized religions, huge industry. I call this a multi-billion-dollar soul-saving industry. I include myself. Because of my dress, my appearance, people think that I am also one of those Swamis who must be sitting in temple and blessing and praying for other souls, which I don't, but I am part of that phenomena. Friends, real democracy if you have faith in yourself, if you have faith in the poorest of the poor, the most voiceless, the most defenseless, the most vulnerable, that is the sign of spirituality. That smallest of a small person has been created by the same Creator. Who are you to say he is a small man? Who are you to say he is untouchable? Who are you to say that this person is not a male child, a female child is going to be born, and therefore I would rather get rid of the female child in mother's womb? A child is a child, a human person. I don't give birth, you don't give birth, it's the God who gives birth. And God's whole sanctity is challenged right at the moment of birth. God gives us birth equal human being, इंसान बना करके भेजता है. परमात्मा हमको हिंदू और मुसलमान बनाकर नहीं भेजता, परमात्मा हमें इंसान बना करके भेजता है. But in no time the poor, innocent, unsuspecting child is hijacked. Nobody asks the little child, you want to become a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian? We want to give you the freedom of religion. Please tell us. Nobody asks. The parents are the first one to jump. Then come the religious leaders. Then come all our organized churches and everybody. And the poor child, innocent child, he cannot or she cannot defend herself, and therefore stamping goes on. A Hindu child or a Muslim child, a Brahmin child or a Dalit child, a male child or a female child, and all sorts of discriminations, all sorts of ritualistic religions. A whole worldview is thrust upon the little child. I'm sorry to say, but the more the little child is being thrust upon with this so-called worldview, the more the child is being taken away from the real worldview. The real worldview which the creation gives us, the beautiful creation, the laws of creation. I don't make those laws. No government make the laws. No Prime Minister make, no Parliament make those laws. The laws of creation. They are the manifestation of the Creator. And every law of creation grants you equality, equal human dignity. You just think in your mind and you just let me know one single piece of creation which discriminates between a high caste born and a low caste born, which discriminates between a male child and a female child, which discriminates between a man with dark skin and another person with a white skin, or a person who is born with all the richness, wealth of his parents, and another child born to parents who are indebted, who are bonded laborers. The laws of creation do not discriminate. All these discriminations, injustices, I call them violence. They are because of human institutions, man-made institutions. The caste system is pure and simple man-made. It has no basis, no divine hand, behind this caste system, abominable caste system. And yet it's ruling the roost. In a country which is known for religion and religiosity, India, every nook and corner you will find religions. And you will find people being discriminated by birth. Sheer birth. Which is not in your hand, it's not in my hand. If I ask you, who are you by religion? You will say, I am a Hindu. Another person say Christian or a Muslim. And say, why are you a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian? Why? Because I was born into that family. As simple as that. Were you ever given the choice to become this or that, or none at all? Remain a simple human being? So this freedom of religion presupposes an informed choice. Then only freedom has any meaning. And you cannot make any informed choice unless and until you are grown up enough. Generally speaking, the age of maturity, or 18 years or 20 years or 21 years or whatever age, till that age you are not allowed to choose your life partner. One single person you want to marry, you will have to wait up to the age of 18 or 21. You are not allowed to cast your vote and elect your village representative. But this little time is not allowed to choose your religion. There is no choice. It's outright slavery. Outright slavery. I'm sorry to say that, very strong word, but I'm using this word just to sort of bring out my own sense of anger and anguish. Why have we been doing that to those little innocent children? Why do we have to baptize and circumcise and do everything possible in our hand to brand that little child with this or that religion? Why? The Creator's intention was not that. If by mistake a child born to a Hindu parents in the hospital, suppose, and some mistake or some manipulation, the child is transferred to a Muslim family. The child was born to Hindu parents, but if they are being brought up by a Muslim family, the child will turn out to be a Muslim. Among the Muslims, it is Shia or Sunni. Among the Hindus, maybe Brahmin or Dalit. Amen. See? So everything is getting decided by somebody else, not by me. Then we expect that we will make the best choice. We will participate in the decision-making processes. That's very, very difficult. We are denied our own human dignity by the upholders or the so-called thekedars of our caste system and religions. If we really want to fight fascism, you have to fight the stranglehold of religion and caste. Refuse to be divided in the name of religion. Assert that I am a human being and I will continue to remain a human being. That will be my primary and the most significant identity. And if at all I have to be religious, then I will choose with all the freedom at my command, whether to be a Hindu or to be a Muslim or a Christian or a Sikh or none at all. Then only it becomes meaningful. Then only you have got real decision-making power. You are master of your own destiny. Otherwise you are slave. God does not intend you to be a slave. God wanted you to be as good a human being as anybody else. Because God's sun is shining equally, Brahmin or a Dalit. The air we are breathing is equally for a Hindu or a Muslim and a Christian or whoever. Nobody is breathing better air for being a believer and another breathing inferior air for being non-believer. No. God's dispensation does not discriminate. It is we human beings who create these walls of discrimination, barriers of discrimination. All these walls ultimately go to exploit. They create hierarchies, higher caste, lower caste, male, female, patriarchy, power. And in the process everybody mortgages his own decision-making power to somebody. Some prophet, some book, something, thousands of years ago, somebody came. And I am now told, you have to have faith in that person. Then only you will be redeemed. Then only you will be saved. Then only you will go to whatever, heaven or whichever place. What is this? We are led to believe all this in the name of religion. Or we have to suffer all the indignity. Those born in lowest caste, since I work among bonded laborers, many times I tell them that, look, you must fight, participate in the struggle, you can change your destiny. They say, no, Swamiji, unnecessarily you are provoking us. We are born to be like this. The whole exploitative system has been so deeply internalized. It's very difficult to convince them that no, the Constitution gives you this guarantee, fundamental rights against forced labor, or the laws give you this safety or whatever, power or rights. No. Because poor people, being born in a lower caste, they think they are destined to be so. That helplessness, hopelessness, haplessness completely takes over the whole psyche and thinking and being. Why? Who is responsible for that? Instead of fighting against these forces, if we simply think that democracy will survive because of some examples in some daily election here or some other elections there, that will be shallow. It will not be strong enough. When the currents of fascism blow, then they will not be able to resist completely. The so-called blind faith which we are told to bring on somebody, instead of being told every child, be your own guru. Be your own guru. If you want to have a scripture, write your own one A4 size scripture, 10 commandments for yourself. A student studying in class 5, 6, 7, 10 can easily write down 10 points for himself, herself. Put up on the table, every day read 10, 20 times and try to bring those values inside in his or her life. As simple as that. Instead we are given some big scripture. Read this page, read that part. Have blind faith. in all those stories. Now my friend Narayan, you were telling us about Gita. Huh? Anybody can interpret the way he or she likes. If you want to take up arms, here is exhortation by Krishna. Oh Arjuna, you are talking like a coward, take up arms and kill your own guru or your own brothers and whoever others. So, if you want to train suicide bombers, Gita promises you that if you die fighting a just war, sort of a holy war, if you win, the kingdom is yours. If you die, you go to heaven. This is the mantra as per Islamic teaching. Some of these terrorists are being dinned into their ears. They have all the dreams about Jannat. If they die and they blow themselves off, that Jannat is, heaven is assured. It's are deeply ingrained into those young boys. So friends, what I am trying to say is this. Today we should rejoice about the election results in Delhi, but we should prepare ourselves for a longer fight, a more meaningful fight. And that meaningful fight will not come about unless and until we realize the limitations which have been put on each one of us on the day we were just born, on the very day we were shackled in one ideology or the other ideology, I and the other. So the ancient rishis said, Ayam nija paro veti ganana lagu chetasam udar charita nam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. This is mine and this is the way of people who have got very small heart. Those with the large heart, for them the whole of humanity is one family. The whole of the universe is one family. Udar charita nam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Break away all these shackles of casteism, even the so-called nationality, I would say. Why should I think that everybody in Pakistan is my enemy or a symbol of devil? Why? They are also human beings. Or Chinese or whoever, Afghanistani. But this jingoism about nationalism tells us that no, Pakistanis are our enemies. And our own children belonging to the poor parents, poor farmers, laborers, they join military. Not so much out of great patriotism, but for their bread and butter. I know of thousands of those CRPF Jawans who are getting themselves killed at the hands of Maoists. And sometimes where they are not killed by Maoists, they are killed by malaria. More CRPF Jawans are dying of malaria than they are dying of bullets from Maoists. That's a fact. And why are they joining? If 10 get killed, 20 are ready to join. Not so much that they have got deep urge to contain Maoism or militancy or anything, because they want jobs. In this country where rampant unemployment is there, poverty is there, give them jobs and they will do anything. And the Pakistan also has got their own army from young people who are born into poor families. They give them uniforms and guns and they fight each other and kill each other. To help whom? Who are they defending? Our army Jawans, who are they defending? Their own parents don't have any wealth. They don't even have a good pakka house. But they are laying down their lives. And they are told, this is your real great moment of honor. And you will be given some Paramveer Chakra on Republic Day in front of, if you die, your wife will be there to receive, your widow will be there to receive, in the whole country will see Paramveer Chakra's wife. These are all built into this whole system. This is all falsehood. We are being divided in a very clever way. We are being trained to kill each other in the name of nationalism, in the name of casteism, in the name of religion. This is high time. In this age and time, we should stand up and say, hell to all these divisive forces. Hell, we don't accept any of these. We are human beings, just human beings. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. All globalization is not real globalization. You are cheating us. You are duping us. Your connotations are all very false. Globalization. I said, why? I said, this is pure and simple market forces. What you call globalization. The rich can enter into my house or my country and take away whatever little wealth I have. And for that, to facilitate his entry, I am told to lower the wall, the tariff wall, so that his product can come. And if I want to go to that country, that I can earn a few more dollars, their minimum wage is $15 per hour. $15 per hour in USA, and in Germany 15 euros per hour. If I want to go and work there to earn my bread, then they raise their immigration wall. No, you cannot enter. I am told to lower my customs and tariff wall in the name of... This is what I told him, very frankly and simply. This is your globalization? If you really mean globalization, just as we allow your industry and your commerce and your people to come and set up their business in our countries, allow our people to go to your country, to USA, and earn their bread and butter. Let capital flow freely, let labor also flow freely. Then it is something equitable globalization. I said, what do you mean, Swami? What do you mean? They shouted at me. And I said, yes, I mean this. Then I told them that some time ago BBC Channel 4 had made a film about an African Gandhi leading a couple of million poor Africans towards Europe. They are all marching on foot. And then a white press reporter from France or from other European country, she goes, and the police was stopping them. The Europeans were stopping them. No, you will not be allowed to enter our Europe. And this press reporter asks, why do you want to go there? Why don't you live in your own country? It's a beautiful country, Africa. You should love your culture, you should love your soil, everything. Said, no, we love our country, we know everything, but we want to go there. Say, why? Because we see some more money there. Why do you want to go to make more money? Because we don't have money. As simple as that. But why do they have money? Why do the Europeans have money? The reporter asks. Because they are rich. Why are they rich? Then this fellow replies, the African Gandhi, because we are poor. Because we are poor, they are rich. It's not just they became rich. We are made poor to enrich them. I shared this story. I shared another story about the Latin American archbishop who said, when I give bread to the poor, they call me a saint. But when I ask why the poor do not have bread, they call me a communist. It is the poor who grow the bread. And they don't have the bread. When you ask why the people who are growing the bread don't have bread, then it's a disturbing question. Friends, when I told all these stories, those big leaders of World Bank, they were really shivering. They were in fear that this Agnivesh, maybe tomorrow he can bring 50, 100 million people from his country and force his entry into our countries. I have tried that in India. I became MLA in Haryana first time because of Jayaprakash Narayan's movement, Janata Party. I was elected from a constituency very close to Kurukshetra. Though I was born in Srikakulam, Andhra Pradesh, Telugu speaking, educated in Calcutta, lived for some time in Chhattisgarh, but when I went to work in Haryana, they liked me, they became friends and they elected me for Haryana Assembly in 1977. Our Prime Minister was Morarji Desai, our Foreign Minister was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It's a great new government. And what did we do to celebrate our new Janata government? I organized the poorest of the poor in and around Delhi, and we forced our entry into Ashoka Hotel, the government owned 5-star hotel. And we knew that we cannot order any ourselves some chana and mumphali, and we celebrated Janata Party. The very next day, Morarji Desai called me. What is this you are doing? Atal Bihari said, you are bringing bad name to our country. Why will foreigners come to this country? Poor people go there inside these big hotels like that. I said, well, this is what I thought. The poor are as good citizens of this country as any of these foreigners you are inviting. Then Rajiv Gandhi was celebrating India festivals. And in order to showcase the prosperity and the happiness of the Indians, he planned a whole India festival to be taken to Paris in front of Eiffel Tower, and next step was in front of Lincoln Memorial in Washington DC. 2 festivals were planned, Rajiv Gandhi. I was working among the stone quarry workers and we were fighting in the Supreme Court. There is no drinking water in those little hutments, those quarry workers, and this and that. It was in 1986. We got the historic landmark judgment from the Supreme Court by Justice Bhagwati, but that was not being implemented. And therefore, we are feeling very sore, very unhappy about this whole drama about India Festival in Paris and in Washington. So those days we read big full-page advertisements in daily newspapers. that Rajiv Gandhi will lead all the artists and everybody, and they will go. Mitterrand was then the president of France, Francois Mitterrand. And next day he will go to Washington. And he will take along with a bear, bhalu. And that bear was adopted by the Tatas, the big Tatas. And they have a big hotel in Delhi called Taj Mansingh. So the Taj Mansingh advertised that we will be feeding that bear with peaches in honey, and every day that bear will have a shower with shampoo, brand shampoos. Everything was being advertised. The government of Rajiv Gandhi gave a name, Munna, and there was a passport given, then a visa given to Munna. And we were feeling very sick. What is this nonsense? There is no drinking water right under the nose of our federal parliament in the stone quarries of Faridabad, and they are going to show this drama there. Rajiv Gandhi left for Paris. The next day, we organized 700 stone quarry workers in their dirty, torn clothes, no shoes, all smelling their sweat and whatever. And I told them, look, today you have to come with me to have a cup of tea in one of the biggest 5-star hotels of this country, that is Taj Mansingh. He said, Swamiji, who will allow us inside? I said, come quietly, just we will enter. Let us see what happens. So they all accompanied me in couple of buses. On the way when we were going, this road is also goes from Delhi to Faridabad to Agra. There are so many people on the wayside with their monkeys and their bhalus to entertain the tourists going to Agra. So we immediately asked one set of bhalu and monkey people to get into our bus or another van, and they also joined us. At the gate, I was being stopped, so I told the gateman, the gatekeeper, to get away. I said, the real, सच्चे मालिक आ रहे हैं देश के, अभी इनको जाने दो. The poor fellow could not understand what's all happening, and we all forced our entry into Taj Hotel. And immediately, in that Taj Hotel, there was a lot of commotion. All the military people came. It's a high security zone with their guns, etc., trotting their guns. And said, what are you doing? What are you doing? He said, we are not going to commit any violence. We will not even break even a leaf of any plant. We are here as citizens of this great country to celebrate India festival, which my Prime Minister is there celebrating in Paris. We are celebrating in our own country. He calls it India festival, we call it Bharat Utsav. And then we ordered tea to the hotel manager. The hotel manager, when he saw 600-700 people in tattered clothes, laborers inside, he said, no, we cannot give you tea. He said, you will have to give us tea. Why will you not give us tea? You have to. Then he said, okay. He ordered somebody, give them quickly in a corner, make them stand there outside. No, we want tea like any other customer. You need to open this air-conditioned hall, Diwane Khas. It was month of June, so that hall was opened. We were asked to sit. Said, no, make it cool first. We wanted to buy time. And it was then cooled. Then we all occupied our chairs. Then I said, give us tea. And I told laborers, don't just gulp it. You drink it like this. Sip it. Like the rich people take their tea over half an hour. And then we were singing songs and giving speeches that, look, this is the real face of our government, so-called democratic socialist government, which does not guarantee you clean water in your own houses, but it can build swimming pool for these foreigners, bringing water from 200 kilometers, and the water is cool in summer and hot in winter. All of this, I showed them, I took them around. And their rooms with per day rent about 10,000 in those days, 10,000 rupees. I said, this is all your blood and sweat. You build all these hotels and yet you are not allowed inside. You are thrown outside. When I was explaining all that, the bear was dancing, the monkeys were dancing, and all those foreigners who were staying there, they were all very curious but also shaking in fear. I said, what's the fear? Why are you worried? He said, looks like some revolution has taken place. The poor have occupied this big hotel. I said, no. It's not the real revolution, only a rehearsal. We will come other day with full preparation. By that time, all the newspaper people, they got to know, and then they spread the story. Next day, when our Rajiv Gandhi, then Prime Minister, reached Washington DC, the International Herald Tribune carried a picture of we with the bear and the monkey and the laborers dancing inside Taj Mansingh Hotel. So friends, what I'm trying to say is this, that unless and until we have real faith in the poorest of the poor, in the lowliest of the low caste, in women particularly, in the tribals, that they are as equal as anybody, that has to come very genuinely in us. But I am very sorry to say, the organized religions will not allow you to do that. When Mohan Bhagwat says everybody is born Hindu, and when they become Christian or Muslims, they loot away our mal. I ask him, have you ever asked yourself, who are these people who change? Most of the people who change into Islam or Christianity happen to be from the lower caste. They go to some other religion in the hope of some equality. Unfortunately, they don't get it, that much equality as they hope. Still they remain Dalit Christians or Dalit Muslims. But who is this man, Mohan Bhagwat, to say that mal wapas kar do, ghar wapsi? It's a cruel joke. First you exploit them, first you denigrate them, first you humiliate them. And if they change their religion for some hope, something, then you raise all this hue and cry, say ghar wapsi, and convert them, reconvert them. So all of these things are part of this whole fascist makeup, mindset. And we need to address all these issues squarely. And I think, my friend George, we will continue this lecture series, but out of this, some movement should emerge. It should not be just for some intellectual comfort one evening or that other evening, but some real movement should emerge. Out of this, we should all resolve that we start a movement for the whole of humanity to be like one family. And when the then President of World Bank asked me, what is the difference between your concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and our concept of globalization? I said, yours means everything is a commodity and the rich, the powerful have the right to buy even natural resources. That is privatization of globalization. In our Kutumbakam, the smallest child, the little child, claims his or her milk or food or whatever medicine first, and the breadwinner of the family takes his or her share the last. This is Kutumbakam, and yours is market, everything commodified. This is the difference between Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and our use your scheme of globalization.